Welcome to the Success with Jewelry podcast, where we invite you inside our conversations about business success and marketing for jewelry designers and entrepreneurs.
We're Laryssa and Liz, jewelry marketing experts with a combined 16 years of experience in jewelry marketing and proven track records in helping jewelry brands meet their goals. When you listen to or watch this podcast, you get an intimate and exclusive peek behind the curtain of all the things you wish you could know about earning success in this industry.
Welcome to episode 7. In this episode, we'll be talking about merchandising. We're going to be chatting about what exactly is merchandising, why is it important, and how can you improve your merchandising. We also offer a gated version of this episode, which has further commentary on this topic and many valuable tips that you can start implementing in your business today. To get access to this exclusive content, sign up by visiting successwithjewelry.com. Membership is only $20 a month for weekly extended episodes, personal engagement and interaction by us, free webinars and courses, active group discussion, community, and so much more. We actually just added our 6-part webinar series that walks you through everything you need to know about digital marketing for your business. All right, Laryssa, let's get into it.
Yeah, Liz, let's talk about merchandising.
Yeah, I didn't realize I had so much to say about merchandising. I feel like it's a kind of confusing topic for designers, and maybe a lot of you don't fully understand what it is because there's a lot of components to it. So what exactly is merchandising?
It's much more than just how you're displaying your work in a store. There's a lot of moving parts and it kind of covers a lot of different things, but it really starts with your overall product mix.
Yeah, so all of the pieces in your collection, how they're working together, how they're serving your customers' needs, all of that's really important to consider. You also want to think about how you're organizing your product on your website, on your line sheets, all of those things, and also how you present your product through the content that you share. You want to be telling a story.
I was just going to say that word story. It's so much about the story that you're telling, individually about each product, and then overall how that story is going through all the products in your assortment and how it's like supporting your brand story as well.
Yeah, definitely. And it doesn't always have to be new products. It's how your new collections and your new products work with your other products and your older collections, and how everything's working together.
I would say too, merchandising is also so much about the customer experience. So it's how you're understanding the customer and making their lives easier too, making it fun, easy, and simple to shop, whether that is the end consumer or like the retail buyer who is coming to shop with you. The primary goal is to make it easy for that person to buy your product.
Yes, definitely. So merchandising is important for so many reasons. First off, good merchandising drives sales. If you're merchandising your trade show booth in a way that really is thoughtful to wholesale buyers and retailers, you're going to have a much more successful show. And then same with if you're doing direct-to-consumer events, having merchandising your booth, your displays in a way that attracts that consumer is obviously going to lead to more sales there. So you want to think about both a little bit differently. With wholesale, you really want to display it in a way that wholesalers can really buy your product for their store. So you want to present things in a way that kind of really tells a story that they can choose from to build their own case. And then when you're talking to consumers, you really want to be showing them how to wear it, how to style it, how you designed it to be worn.
And you want to keep rethinking the merchandising as well. So maybe what works today is not going to work 3 months from now. Those needs can change seasonally. They can change year by year. They can change based on like the location that you're showing in. So it's not like this static thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also, I used to work for trade shows. And oftentimes, if a designer wasn't having a good first day, we would go in, I would help them re-merchandise their display for that day too. And sometimes it would have big results. Sometimes it would lead to more people stopping by their booth. So even if you're in the middle of a show, it's okay to kind of rethink the feedback you're getting and re-merchandise.
That's super interesting. What would be some of the like questions you would ask in your head to know like what change to make in that respect?
Yeah, so I think it has a lot to do with what people are kind of attracted to. So maybe you had, because the center of your case is the first place people look. So maybe you had a pair of earrings kind of off to the side in one of your supporting collections, the way you have it displayed, and they were getting a lot of attention. And maybe you need to bring them to the front and pair them with a different necklace to kind of tell a different story, because the earrings were getting so much attention. The necklace is your newest thing. So maybe you just need to reposition where everything's at so that your booth gets a little bit more attention, or it's telling a better story. So it's really thinking about the feedback you're getting and making changes based on that.
That makes a lot of sense. I think one other reason merchandising is important is it can kind of give you feedback about your own brand too. So if you take the time to really consider merchandising in a strategic way, you will understand your own brand better and just be like a stronger, more confident business owner, because it will all make sense and be cohesive to you, and you can just confidently speak about everything together.
Definitely. And being able to walk somebody through your collection when they come to your booth is invaluable. And you want to translate that to online too. So you can learn so much from doing in-person events, whether it be a trade event to wholesale buyers or a direct-to-consumer event. I feel like you can really look at the feedback you get from those and determine how you want to present stuff online a bit better.
Absolutely. I think it actually becomes even more important online because you don't have a salesperson there. You don't have you there to talk through it, to like answer questions, anticipate the customer's needs. So the online presence needs to be able to do all of these things without that like added person there to help.
Yeah, so you want to make sure when somebody gets to your homepage, you're really driving them through where to go and what to purchase, how you intended it to be styled, and really thinking about little groupings you can put together. Having gift guides, having curated collections, things like that is really important. And I know, Laryssa, you and I have a similar pet peeve of when one of the first drop downs under shop is collection names, because it's a lot of consumers don't want to shop that way. They don't, if they're not familiar with your brand, they don't know what the floral collection is necessarily. So really having that option to shop by metal type, by style, by different things like that will make it easier for a consumer to shop your website.
Absolutely. You need to assume that someone knows nothing about your brand, and you need to make it as easy as possible for them to get beyond the homepage, especially if that's where they're starting. Like, how can you get them to one step into your website, whether it's to a product page or a collection page? So that really needs to lead the journey forward.
Definitely. And you also don't want to have collections, so many collections that are telling really unique stories, because you want them all to be kind of assisting and telling your bigger brand story. You don't want to be telling all of these standalone stories that don't all feed into the big picture. I guess is what I'm trying to say. You want all of these collections and everything you're working on to really tie together to support your overall brand.
Yes, and if you find that you're telling super different stories, it might be a little bit of a red flag for you to kind of revisit the merchandising, maybe do some editing and curating and seeing if there's a different way to approach it.
Definitely. So getting into some tips to improve your merchandising, first and foremost, the most important thing is to create, if you don't have this already, and review a sales report regularly. So you need to understand your business, and you need to understand what styles you're selling from what price point. And look at this, review this, understand this. It will help you and help inform what you should add to your collection in the future.
Yeah, and if you have good relationships with your retail partners or even prospective retail partners, see if you can get sales data from them, like what sells the best in their store, category-wise, what other brands are selling well, or with your current retail partners, which products are performing the best, or even anecdotally in store, like what do people want to see the most or try on the most, or what do they ask about the most? It's so good to have that information.
Yeah, not only for filling their cases and helping them purchase product, but also for when you're promoting them and you're marketing them on your social media pages and email marketing content and stuff like that. Understanding what sells really well for them is a great thing to know. So another tip is to really understand how you stack up against your competitors. So regularly looking at your competitors and seeing what they're up to.
Yeah, and that's like maybe you can do something different. Maybe you can even have a similar strategy. Like if one of your competitors didn't have rings before and now they have a rings category. Well, it could be a sign for you like, do I lean more into that? Do I add that category if I don't have it already? Do I want to do it but in a different way? So anything that your competitors do, no, don't copy them, but like use it as information to help you make more strategic decisions.
Yeah, definitely. And one more tip we want to share with you is really understanding if you're creating products based on your creative whims, which a lot of designers just starting out tend to just create what they love, or they love gemstones and they're just kind of creating around the gemstones as they're inspired. Or are you creating based on an actual strategy of understanding who you're serving, what your goals are, understanding those things? Are you creating based on that? Really understanding that. And if you're trying to build a business, head towards making merchandise, making product with a strategy in mind. All right, so what did you think about our merchandising tips? Are you going to rethink how you organize and present your products? Again, you can visit successwithjewelry.com to sign up for the extended episode, as well as an actionable tip, many actionable tips, and jewelry brand case studies we'll share at the end. Membership is only $20 a month for an exclusive peek behind the curtain into what it takes to build and grow a successful jewelry business.